They say the United States has revealed all its secrets. But deep beneath the archives, between forgotten maps and erased census records, lies a story so unbelievable that even America itself refused to remember it. A story of a vanished town, a forbidden rebellion, a government cover-up, and a man who returned 140 years later to tell the truth. And tonight, you will hear it. Chapter 1. The Map That Should Not Exist. The afternoon sun hung low over Washington, D.C., when historian Dr. Adrian Hale opened a dusty wooden crate in the Library of Congress basement. Inside it lay a rolled piece of parchment, older than any document he had ever handled, its edges burnt, its ink faded by time. A tag attached to it read, "Recovered from Tennessee Valley, 1883. Unauthorized, do not catalog." That alone was strange. But when Adrian unrolled the parchment, his breath caught. It was a map of the United States from the year 1865, but not the USA as we know it. Right at the center, between Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia, a large area was shaded red, marked with a name no American history book had ever mentioned. The Free Republic of Cumberland. Established 1863. Dissolved unknown. Adrian froze. A republic inside the United States? During the Civil War? Impossible. He checked the coordinates. They matched a region now swallowed by forests, reservoirs, and mountains. He felt a weird, unnatural coldness in the air, as if the past itself was watching him. Then he noticed something else. A second line of faded writing beneath the map. If found, tell no one. But Adrian was not a man who obeyed warnings, not when a missing piece of American history stood in front of him. Chapter 2. The Letter from 1884. The next thing he found in the crate was a sealed envelope, the paper stiff and brittle. Inside was a letter written in cursive Tennessee handwriting. To the future discoverer, my name is Captain Elias Ward of the Union Army. If you are reading this, then the truth has survived longer than we did. Adrian read every word carefully. The letter described a place the Union Army once stumbled upon, a hidden town high in the Appalachian woods where runaways, escaped slaves, deserters, and outcasts had built their own independent government during the Civil War. A place that refused to join the Union or the Confederacy. A place so free, so equal, so radical that both North and South feared it. The letter's final sentence chilled him to the bone. The government destroyed us, burned our records, buried our graves, and swore the world would never know. Adrian's pulse raced. This wasn't just an alternate community. This was a suppressed micronation, a lost republic erased by American authorities. But questions swirled. Why erase it? Why hide the map? And what happened to the people? He didn't know yet, but he was about to find out. Because the letter ended with a set of coordinates. Coordinates leading to the exact location of the vanished republic. Chapter 3. Into the Appalachian Shadows. 3 days later, Adrian drove deep into the Tennessee mountains. Fog enveloped the forest. Satellite signal weakened. Roads narrowed into gravel paths. Locals he met warned him, "Nothing up there but ghosts. You're heading where folks don't return. Best turn around, Professor." He ignored them. By sunset, he reached the coordinates from the 1884 letter, an abandoned region near the old TVA reservoir, a place flooded during the 1940s. But according to the map, this wasn't the original site. The real town lay above the waterline, hidden in the ridge. And for that, he would need to hike. Branches cracked beneath his boots. Wind roared through the pines. Twice he felt eyes watching him, though no one was there. After an hour, he found something. A stone marker poking from the earth, carved with unfamiliar writing. CR 1863. As he brushed dirt away, he uncovered more stones, arranged in a path leading deeper into the woods. His heart pounded. It was a road, an old, forgotten road. He followed it for another mile until he reached a clearing where the trees suddenly thinned, revealing burnt foundations and charred posts. The ruins of a settlement. He kneeled, touched the ground. Ash still clung to the soil. Then he found it, a rusted metal plate buried under leaves, stamped with the emblem, "The Free Republic of Cumberland, Liberty for All." The Republic was real, and he was standing in the ashes of its capital. But he wasn't alone. Not anymore. Behind him, leaves rustled. A shadow moved. Adrian turned slowly, but the woods fell silent. Then a voice whispered, "You shouldn't have come here." Chapter 4. The Man Who Never Died. The man stepped out from behind a tree, tall, weathered, face lined like old bark. His clothes looked handmade, not modern. His boots were stitched leather. His eyes were piercing blue, almost glowing. "Who are you?" Adrian asked. The man tilted his head. "I should ask you the same." "I'm Dr. Adrian Hale, historian. I'm studying—" "I know what you found, the map, the letter, Ward's lies." "Lies?" Adrian frowned. "Everything suggests the Republic existed." "Oh, it existed," the man said softly, "but Ward didn't tell you the whole story." Adrian studied the stranger carefully. "What's your name?" The man hesitated, then spoke. "Elias Ward." Adrian felt the earth tilt under his feet. "That's impossible," he whispered. "You would be over 180 years old." But the man didn't blink. "I am Elias Ward, captain of the Union Army, survivor of the last night of Cumberland." Adrian stepped back. "No, impossible. Unless something happened in this forest, something science couldn't explain." The man stepped forward. "You want the truth?" he asked. "The truth you won't find in your books?" Adrian nodded slowly. "Then listen," Elias said, his voice trembling with the weight of a century and a half. "The government didn't just destroy the Republic. They tried to destroy time itself." Chapter 5. The Night of the Silver Light, Elias Ward's Confession. Elias began his story, his voice low and haunted. It was 1863. The Civil War was tearing America apart. But deep in the mountains, a group of escapees had built a secret town. A town of black freedmen, native tribes, runaway soldiers, immigrant miners, and abolitionist farmers. They called it Cumberland, the Free Republic. Not a utopia, but a miracle. They had laws, schools, militias, farms, even a constitution. A place where black men voted, where women held office, where Confederates and Yankees shared bread, if they swore loyalty to freedom. A place 50 years ahead of its time. 2 ahead. Both the Union and Confederacy saw it as a threat. And so, in 1864, the federal government sent the secret regiment, Ward's Regiment, to assess the Republic. But when they arrived, something strange happened. The sky turned silver. The air trembled. Time slowed. Elias stuttered as he spoke. It was like the world bent, like the mountains breathed, like something was trying to protect the town. Adrian's skin prickled. "What happened next?" he asked. "The soldiers opened fire," Elias whispered. "We were ordered to eliminate the Republic, an order straight from Washington itself." Adrian felt sick. "And the silver light?" Elias closed his eyes. "It fell on us, covered the whole valley. Men vanished. Days passed in seconds. Seconds took years. And you?" "I walked out of it," the old soldier said, voice breaking. "Everyone else disappeared." Adrian stared. You Didn't age? Elias nodded. For me, the war ended last week. Chapter 6. The Hidden Graves. Elias led Adrian deeper into the forest. They reached a hillside littered with stone markers, unmarked graves, hundreds of them, the victims of the Republic's erasure. Adrian felt rage boil inside him. This was a genocide, he whispered. It was, Elias replied, and it was covered up. The dam they built later, it wasn't for power, it was to drown the evidence. Adrian realized, this wasn't just a hidden town. This was a mass burial site, a vanished chapter of American freedom, a place destroyed because it threatened the old power structures. But why erase it completely? Why hide the silver light phenomenon? Why let Elias live? Elias answered before Adrian spoke. Because I wasn't supposed to survive, he said, and neither are you. Adrian froze. Branches cracked. Boots approached. Elias whispered, "They're here." Chapter 7. The Agents of Silence. 3 men stepped into the clearing. Black uniforms, no insignia, night vision helmets, suppressed rifles. A black budget government unit. "Dr. Hale," one said, "you have obtained restricted materials belonging to the United States government. You will surrender them immediately." Adrian's heart pounded. The map, the letter, the truth. Elias stepped in front of him. "He's under my protection." The agents raised their rifles. "Captain Elias Ward," the leader said coldly, "you were declared deceased in 1884. The federal order still stands." Adrian realized, these men were here to finish the job, to erase the last witness, to erase the historian who had found the truth. Elias whispered, "Run." Adrian refused. "I'm not leaving you. Run." The forest exploded with gunfire, and the silver light returned. Chapter 8. The Return of the Silver Light. The gunfire tore through the dying sunlight as Adrian sprinted between the trees, lungs burning, heart slamming inside his chest. Behind him, the forest pulsed with a strange vibrating glow, the same silver light Elias described from 1864. It wasn't like moonlight. It wasn't natural. It moved. It flowed. The agents shouted orders. "Target moving north. Ward is inside the anomaly. Don't enter. Retrieve the historian alive." Alive, not dead. Adrian didn't know if that was comforting or horrifying. The silver light intensified, spilling across the forest floor like liquid mercury. Trees bent. Time felt wrong, stretched, slowed, distorted. Every breath felt like it echoed. He looked back. Elias stood within the glow, rifle in hand, the same antique rifle he carried from the Civil War. The agents fired, but the bullets slowed in midair, as if the light was swallowing them. Elias shouted, "Keep moving, Hale! You can't get caught!" Adrian stumbled over a root and rolled down a slope, scraping his arms, tearing the map tube from his bag. It bounced away, hit a rock, and rolled into the silver pool forming at the bottom of the hill. He slid to a stop. "No, no, no!" He crawled toward the map. But the moment his fingers touched the pool, the world snapped. White. Then black. Then white again. A ringing grew inside his skull like a church bell. And then, suddenly, silence. Chapter 9. The Other Side of Time. The forest was gone. Adrian stood in a vast, misty expanse where no sky existed, only endless shimmering air. Trees flickered like faint outlines, appearing and disappearing as though the world was being drawn by an unseen artist. His breath fogged in front of him. Not again. Elias's voice echoed somewhere behind him, distant, distorted. Adrian turned. Elias Ward stumbled through the mist, holding his chest, blood staining the front of his uniform. The silver light wrapped around him like a living thing, pulling him forward. "Elias," Adrian shouted, grabbing him before he fell. Elias coughed. "You went inside the anomaly, the same one that took my men." "What is this place?" Adrian whispered. Elias shook his head. "Not a place, a moment, a wound in time." Adrian didn't understand, but he understood enough to feel fear rise like a tide. "But why us? Why now?" Elias struggled to speak. "Because Cumberland wasn't supposed to exist, and neither is this moment." The ground trembled beneath them. From the fog, shapes emerged, silhouettes of people, hundreds of them, walking slowly, heads bowed. Men in torn Union uniforms, women in prairie dresses, children clutching dolls. The missing citizens of the free republic. Their faces were blurred, fading in and out like incomplete memories. Adrian whispered, "They're stuck in the anomaly?" "Not stuck," Elias replied. "Trapped by the same government that feared them." Adrian grabbed Elias's shoulder. "We have to get out." "We can't," Elias replied, "not until the light releases us." Adrian felt cold dread. "Then how do we—" Before he could finish, a figure walked out of the fog, clearer, more solid than the others. A young woman in a long coat, hair tied back, eyes fierce and unblinking. Elias gasped, "Mary!" Adrian turned. "You know her?" "She was the first elected leader of Cumberland, a visionary, the reason our republic existed." Mary stopped in front of them. Her voice echoed like two overlapping voices speaking at once. "You brought a historian into this," she said. "Good." Adrian's stomach tightened. "You wanted this?" Mary nodded slowly. "The truth must survive, but the truth does not leave this place easily." Her gaze sharpened. "Dr. Hale, you want the story of Cumberland? The real story? Then you must hear the part Elias never told." Elias lowered his eyes. "Mary, please." She raised her hand. "He doesn't know I'm here," she whispered. "He doesn't know what we discovered the night the silver fell." Adrian felt a cold chill. "What did you discover?" Mary leaned close, and the world cracked open. Chapter 10. The Secret of the Founders. Suddenly, Adrian was somewhere else, standing in the middle of a campfire-lit gathering in 1863. The air smelled of smoke and pine. People were shouting, debating. Cumberland's Council. Mary stood at the center, younger now, alive, determined. "We have found something in the mines," she told them. "Something ancient, something that bends time." Miners brought forth a strange metallic stone, pulsing faint silver. Not natural, not earthly. A meteorite? A relic? A weapon? Adrian watched the memory unfold. Mary continued, "This stone can distort time, creating pockets where the outside world cannot reach. We can hide our town, we can defend ourselves without bloodshed." The council murmured. Some were horrified. Some were inspired. "This is our chance," Mary declared. "A chance to create a nation built on justice, hidden from the war, protected by the anomaly." But the miners warned. "We don't fully understand it. It's dangerous." Mary met their eyes. "So is freedom." The room erupted. Adrian felt the truth slam into him. The silver light wasn't an accident. It wasn't supernatural. It was technology, ancient and incomprehensible, discovered by the founders. A time-bending shield that hid Cumberland. But then Mary's expression darkened. "Someone betrayed us," she whispered. "Someone told Washington." The council gasped, and Adrian, watching like a ghost, realized this wasn't just a lost republic. It was a republic that possessed something powerful enough to terrify the U.S. government, something worth erasing history for. Chapter 11. The Fall of Cumberland. The memory dissolved. Adrian was back in the silver world with Elias. Mary stood before them, shimmering. "The night the Union regiment attacked," Mary said softly, "we activated the stone. But something was wrong. Someone had sabotaged it." She looked at Elias. His voice broke. "No, Mary, don't." "You didn't betray us, Elias," Mary said. "But your commanding officer did. He took the stone. He tried to weaponize it." Adrian felt sick. What happened when he activated it? Mary whispered. "The anomaly was not meant to be forced. It broke. It swallowed us." She gestured at the fog around them. "This is what remains of our republic." Adrian swallowed hard. "Can it be undone?" Mary stepped closer. "It can, but only if one of us leaves with the truth." She looked straight at Adrian. "You." Elias grabbed Adrian's shoulder. "No, he won't survive outside. The agents will kill him." Mary shook her head. "The anomaly has chosen him." Adrian felt the silver glow wrap around his hands. The map tube floated out of the mist and into his grip. "It wants the story told," Mary said. "It always did." The fog churned violently. Elias stepped between Adrian and Mary. "What happens to me?" he asked quietly. Mary looked away. "You were never meant to survive, Elias. You're tied to the anomaly. If it releases him—" She touched his face. "It may not release you." Elias bowed his head. "So be it." Adrian grabbed his arm. "No, I won't leave you here." Elias smiled sadly. "You already did, 140 years ago." The world began collapsing around them, silver edges folding inward. Mary shouted, "Dr. Hale, run!" Adrian ran. Elias turned toward Mary, and the anomaly swallowed them both. Chapter 12. Escape from the Silver Wound. Adrian Hale ran through the collapsing world of silver mist as if he were sprinting across a breaking mirror. The ground beneath him cracked like thin sheets of ice, each step sinking into shimmering liquid. Behind him, voices echoed. Mary's warning, Elias' farewell, the whispers of hundreds of lost citizens. "Tell the story. Don't let us disappear. Run, historian." The silver glow surged, flashing white with a boom that vibrated through Adrian's bones. He stumbled forward and felt the world tilt, like gravity had suddenly shifted sideways. Another flash. Then, a forest, a real forest. Adrian's knees slammed into cold soil. Leaves crunched under his palms. The night air was sharp, familiar. He sucked in a breath that tasted like earth instead of electricity. He was back, but he wasn't alone. A dozen dark uniformed agents surrounded him immediately, rifles locked on him. Laser sights dotted his chest, throat, and forehead. A man wearing a deep green tactical coat stepped forward. Muscular, steady, eyes void of sympathy. "Dr. Adrian Hale," the man said. "Welcome back." Adrian wiped silver residue off his face. "Who are you?" "Director Cole Mercer, Federal Anomalous Response Unit." Adrian blinked. "Faru? That's not a real agency." Mercer smiled darkly. "It is now." Two agents grabbed Adrian's arms, pulling him to their feet. Mercer stepped closer. "You're going to tell me everything you saw inside that anomaly." Adrian stared him dead in the eyes. "No," he said, "I'm not." Mercer leaned in. "You don't have a choice." The ground shook. A shockwave pulsed through the forest, the last breath of the collapsing anomaly. Silver light burst between the trees before fading into the night like dying embers. Every agent looked toward it. Mercer whispered, "It's gone, finally."
Adrian felt the weight of the map tube in his hand, warm, humming, alive. Mercer noticed. "What's that?" he snapped. Adrian's fingers tightened reflexively. "Nothing." Mercer nodded to his men. "Take it." An agent reached for the tube. The moment his glove touched it, a jolt of silver energy shot from the cylinder, throwing the agent backward 10 feet. He crashed into a tree and collapsed, screaming, his equipment smoking. The rest of the agents stepped back, terrified. Mercer's eyes widened. Bring him to the transport, now. As they dragged Adrian away, Mercer whispered into his radio, "The artifact survived. Prepare containment protocols." Adrian's heart pounded. He was now the only living witness, and the government was going to bury him along with the truth.
Chapter 13. The Black Site Under the Mountain. They transported him blindfolded. He counted the minutes by the hum of the engines. 4 hours. Maybe 5. Then silence. A metal door hissed open. Heavy boots. Cold air. The echo of a deep underground chamber. Someone pulled off the blindfold. Adrian blinked hard. He was standing inside a massive concrete bunker lit by harsh white lights. A federal seal was painted across the wall, but not one he recognized. It read, "Federal Anomaly Authority. Black Ridge Containment Zone, Omega Wing. A prison for secrets." A man in a white coat stepped forward. Older, glasses, sharp gaze. "Dr. Hale," he said warmly, "my name is Dr. Grant Holloway. I've been waiting a very long time for someone like you." Adrian took a step back. "Where am I?" "A research site built to understand temporal anomalies like the one you just returned from." Mercer entered behind them. "Don't be gentle with him," Mercer said. "We need answers fast." Holloway ignored him. "You survived something no human has returned from in over a century. That makes you very valuable." Adrian exhaled slowly. "You want information?" Holloway nodded. Adrian raised the map tube. "You'll never get inside this." Mercer smirked. "Everything breaks eventually." Adrian shook his head. "Not this." Holloway lifted a small device, humming faintly. He pointed it at the tube. A beam of light scanned across it. Silver ripples moved like liquid across the surface. Holloway's eyes widened in awe. "Incredible! It's reacting to human proximity, not force. A memory lock. This is far beyond our understanding." He turned to Adrian. "Tell me, what did you see in there?" Adrian stayed quiet. Holloway sighed. "You're protecting someone." Adrian's jaw tightened. He thought of Elias, of Mary, of the children wandering in the silver fog, of the faces begging to not be forgotten. "They trusted me," Adrian whispered, "and I won't betray them." Mercer suddenly grabbed Adrian by the collar, slamming him against the wall. "You think you get to decide?" Adrian stared back. "Yes." Mercer raised his fist. But then alarms blared. Holloway snapped toward the intercom. What happened? A voice shouted through the speakers. "Sir, a spatial breach right inside the facility." Holloway froze. Mercer paled. "That's impossible." The lights flickered. The room shook. And then, with a low roar, the wall behind them began to warp, bulging inward like something was pushing through from another dimension. Adrian's heart stopped. The silver light was back. Chapter 14. The Silver Hunter. The wall exploded in a shower of concrete dust. A swirling vortex of silver mist flooded the room. Adrian stumbled back. Holloway raised his arm to shield his face. Mercer grabbed his gun. A figure stepped out of the vortex. Not Elias. Not Mary. Not any human. It looked like a man, but made of shifting silver strands.
its shape constantly flickering like poor video signal. Its eyes glowed white, its movements smooth yet unnatural. Holloway gasped. My God, it followed him. Mercer aimed at the entity. Fire! Bullets ripped through the air, but dissolved before touching the figure. It moved in a blur. Mercer was thrown across the room, crashing into a control panel. Sparks flew. 2 agents were lifted off the ground, suspended in the air, then gently set down, unconscious. The silver entity turned to Adrian. The bunker fell silent. It spoke, but not with a voice. With vibrations. With overlapping echoes. Return the memory. Adrian clutched the map tube. You want this? The entity extended a hand, made of swirling strands of light. Adrian hesitated. What happens if I give it to you? The entity flickered. The wound must close. Adrian froze. If the anomaly closed permanently, Elias, Mary, and all of Cumberland would be erased forever. No rescue, no evidence, no history. Adrian shook his head. No, I can't let you erase them. I won't. The silver entity tilted its head, and then it whispered, They are not dead. Adrian's breath caught. What? The entity stepped closer. They wait. Behind the second gate. Holloway whispered in awe. There's another anomaly? Adrian took a trembling breath. What happens if I give you the map? The entity's form brightened. You will follow. Follow where? Into another anomaly? Another wound? Adrian realized. This wasn't a monster. This was a messenger. A guide. Carefully, he extended the map tube. The silver figure touched it, and the entire bunker flashed white. Mercer screamed. Holloway fell to his knees. The alarms died, and Adrian's world dissolved again into silver. But this time, he didn't resist. He stepped forward.
Chapter 15. Beyond Time. Adrian stepped through the silver haze. The air shimmered like liquid glass, and suddenly he was standing on a ridge overlooking a vast valley bathed in twilight. Before him lay the free Republic of Cumberland, restored, alive, untouched by time. People walked, laughed, and worked as if the war and decades of erasure had never happened. Children played in the streets, women led councils, and men farmed the rich valley soil. Elias Ward, now looking younger, approached Adrian, smiling. You kept your promise, he said. You didn't betray us. Mary appeared beside him, her eyes glinting with gratitude. The story will live because of you. Adrian clutched the map tube. But the world outside, they'll never believe this. They don't need to, Mary said. Some truths exist beyond belief. Some freedoms exist beyond time. The silver light pulsed one last time. Adrian felt himself lifted, like he was floating between worlds. He looked back. The anomaly began to collapse, closing the wound in time. Then, gently, he was standing again in his office, the map tube in his hands. No silver, no anomaly, just the quiet hum of the Library of Congress. He smiled faintly, knowing the truth. The free Republic of Cumberland had survived, hidden, protected, waiting. And now he had the story. He opened a notebook and began to write. Some places and people are so extraordinary, history can't erase them. This is one of those stories. Outside, the sun rose over Washington, D.C., unaware that deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a republic lost to time thrived, untouched, free, and eternal.